Hang on. Wait, I fucked something up. Okay. I'm
Mock,
starting it now.
Mock, I have
It's good.
very
I'm
bad
starting it.
news. I did already start my recording. So
Do you want to stop it and then start a new?
the first thing the audience heard was I fucked something up. It's fine.
Okay, great. No, it's just with the. It's fine.
I'm sorry I'm like this. I
The-
apologize for crimes.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start my recording. In three, two, one, go. Yeah. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Toonkind Dungeons and Dragons at 12 frames per second. Today, we're playing a game. We're playing an FPS called Infiltration Investigation, featuring yours truly playing as Echo LeBlanc
And yours
and
and yours truly. Okay, everyone. Hi, I'm Snail. I'll be playing Lieutenant Remy, the shooting star of the Shooting Star Press. And also Winter.
great. Did I say that I'm Mock? I don't think I
You
said that.
didn't say, so I was like
It's fine. It's
I
implied.
was just like, maybe the audience will infer from Mock's very distinctive voice. I guess we're praying.
Is it? I have no idea.
It is not a mess. This intro is pristine.
I never said it was a mess. I think it's great. All right. I'm going to set the scene for you.
Can you guys hear me rubbing
Okay.
my hands? I'm very excited.
So, I've purposefully left some of this pretty open-ended. I talked to you a little bit about it yesterday, just as far as what you know and what you might know. So, I may have created a kind of an underground cookie economy in Toontown. For this game, this FPS specifically, because I thought it'd be fun.
What you're talking about? Obviously, this has always existed. It just hasn't been revealed to the viewer until now.
You're right.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. You are correct.
So every time
yeah.
people have like gotten a cookie point, part of the underground Toontown cookie point economy. We're making connections here because I'm an investigator. Well, I'm not actually yet an investigator that's looting stuff. I'm sorry. I should stop interrupting, huh? Go on.
It's fine. This is fine. Okay, so basically, Luton, you have been on this case for a little while, following it. As everybody knows, there is a little bit of an underground cookie economy in Toontown. It's nothing dangerous. In fact, it's rather wholesome. There are a lot of small bakeries and grannies who make cookies at home and stuff like that. But something weird has been happening, and you've noticed, and a lot of other people have noticed it as well, that whatever cookie money is supposed to be going to these like small companies and bake at home grannies, it's not going to them. And no one really knows where that money is going. And, to add to this, there are cookies. There are a lot of cookies. In fact, there are far too many cookies in circulation right now. So
they're almost worthless for the bartering system, which is what the whole system is essentially based
yeah,
off
that's what the economy does. So
we
you've been on this case.
Capitalism?
Yeah, of course.
Capitalism? You know capitalism.
You've been on this
we
case.
understand capitalism.
Yep, pretty much. This is pretty open. Fill in any details you need to. You, Snail, and the viewer at home. This is very casual. But okay, so you've taken on this case, and you have kind of two primary questions. Where did this excess of cookies come from? And where is the money going? At this point, you have basically done your research and have come to the conclusion that there's a gentleman that you need to talk to. Seems to have a lot of ties with various organizations. There's a where'd that go? There's been rumor. well connected, yeah, and seemingly well connected to this conundrum, I suppose. There's also a little bit of a rumor of a gang calling themselves the Toughs, who also seems to have connections.
Can I roll investigation or history to see if I've heard of the Tufts before this incident?
Sure, I would love for you to roll
Uh,
some one of those. Probably, maybe history for that specific thing.
yeah, I would guess history, honestly. Whoo! So, let me ask. When I have a dirty 25, it's not a nat 20, but I do have a pretty high modifier. Do I
see it.
either learn stuff about the Tufts, or is there a surprising absence of information about the Tufts along all the stuff that I've picked up on? This is a very new crime and instigation.
They are. I'm going to say they're pretty new. They don't have a long history, not that you could find as far as like, in 50 years ago, the founder was this person and then they got caught for that. And then it's pretty new. So there's not a lot of information out there. I'm going to, because you did roll a dirty 25, I'm going to tip my hand. You know that this group specifically is involved in this cookie business. They're sorry, their gang name is short for the Tough Cookies, and you know they hang out on a certain side of town, and you know that this other figure, who I really should have come up with a name for. If you have a fun cookie or baking related pun, now would be a great time.
Eclair Dupont? I don't think the second half is cookie related. Somebody help me with the last name, but I got Eclair for the first name.
Oh my god. This is a
cookie.
Okay, hang on. We got Chip. Timmy Mints is pretty good, actually.
Oh, Timmy Mints is very... Okay, just promise me that we'll use Eclair for a female figure sometime in the future, and we'll stick with Timmy Mints, alright? Because that's very good.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
Very good.
Okay, so we are going to call him Timmy Mints.
Why are we calling him that? It's his name.
Of course it's his name. It's always been his name, and this has been plotted out from the start. And, essentially, you know that he hangs out on this side of town, too. You've actually tracked him to this one building, and you're hoping you can get an interview. He's one of those people that's, like, doesn't really do anything specific, but is like a quote-unquote investor within the cookie market.
I do know the type, unfortunately. I've run into more than a couple of those, so I know how to butter them up as butter them up like you butter a cookie pan. Winter gives a very disappointed
butter cookie. Yeah.
Listen, here's the thing. Luton Remy is half Toon. You have to expect this stuff from him.
Oh, of course.
He is trying his best.
Oh, really quick, another detail that you know is that it is sugar cookies, which seems interesting, if nothing else, that it tends to be sugar cookies that are the ones that are, like, flooding the market these days.
Exclusively
and they're good.
Cookies.
I don't know if you've, had any. You could have. They're good.
I think Luton probably, like, very much on the side participates in the cookie economy just because he, like, sometimes makes cookies and then he'll trade them for a favor or two. Particularly when he's, like, got an investigation that's, like, entirely for him. Like, it's not one of the ones for the shooting star press or one of the ones that's really pressing. It's just, like, something he's curious about. He'll, like, trade a couple cookies with the local librarian, see if they know anything more. And it's not even, like, a case of bribery, because he could just ask the same questions without the cookies. He just knows that people like cookies, and
It
this is a
smooths
system
things
in
along.
Toontown. So
Yeah, it smooths it along. So yeah, essentially, okay, we're going back to the actual here and now
sorry.
of this story. You've basically tracked this dude to this one particular building, where you are waiting for him to exit so that you can try and either tail him or get an interview from him or whatever you want to talk to him, basically. Or, you want to investigate him a little more.
Of course.
Can you do me a favor and roll a perception check for me as you are watching this building waiting for him to exit?
Absolutely. And can Winter also roll a perception check?
Sure.
All right. Because I will start with
Winter,
my perception.
Winter gets advantage on smell-based checks. You can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Your answers will be a little different based on if you take that advantage, because I will give you the smell-based answer.
Yes, please. So Luton is going to use his eyes, and he's going to go first, but then...
He rolls a natural 20. Okay, Luton.
Wait, what? Did he actually... What? Luton? You're supposed to make the dog look good! Come on!
Well, roll for Winter. I want to see how good this team does.
Give me 1 second. Gosh darn it, which one? Perception is intelligence? So,
Wisdom.
Wisdom, okay. +1. Okay, so Winter rolls +1, but he rolls twice.
Yep.
That's not bad! Why am I
That's
wasting
an
all my good rolls now?
And a natural 1, so we'll take the 18. Okay.
Oh boy, this is gonna be great.
Yeah. So essentially, like, damn, now I gotta make a bunch of details that I did not necessarily have before. No, that's fine. Okay. I'm gonna do Winter first, I think.
Fair enough.
Winter happened. Okay. So Winter's sniffing around. I don't know if you have, like, this guy's scent already. But essentially...
Sorry, do you want me to, like, sort of lay the ground of where Luton's coming from so that then you have a jumping off point for where we get to?
Yeah, sure. What's he...
I just
taking,
realized I was sort
what's he looking at? What's he doing?
And I never want to do that.
Oh, nah, it's...
So I think Luton sort of, like, came up to the building. He, of course, was trying to skirt people seeing him at the moment. Afterwards, it might be useful for people to see him because people in general do know of Luton Remy, even if they've never seen him before. So it's, like, both a blessing if he definitely needs people to keep attention on him, but it's also kind of a curse if he's tried to skate around. So he definitely tried to avoid eyesight. I imagine he's, like, up close to the building, and he's got Winter, like, on a fake lead, where the lead actually hooks up to Winter's collar. If Winter, like, jerked at all, he could actually, like, break the lead, because Luton knows that sometimes it's important for Winter to be able to, like, skirt around, but there is the whole leash law thing, and people have been really tight about that recently. So he's got Winter on a fake lead right now, and I imagine they're sort of, like, trying to lean up against the wall. Luton's wearing one of his less worn trench coats, got the collar popped up a little bit, trying to hide his half-elf ears a little bit, but he's trying to exude a casualness that is not the attentiveness of a reporter. He's trying to look like he belongs here, while Winter is
He's not necessarily hiding.
Yes. And Winter is sniffing around. He'll decide how he wants to approach this situation as it sort of keeps unfolding. So he's trying to keep it so that he has options at the moment.
Okay. From Winter's smell check, I can tell you that this is definitely a building where a lot of people come and go. Again, you don't have the specific scent of the guy that you're after. This is kind of the first time you're gonna really, you know, even talk to Tommy Mintz or Timmy Mintz. Words. And the building also smells sweet. Make of that information what you will. And that's what I'm going to give Winter. Luton, you did a good job casing this place. You have seen a bunch of stuff. You've probably even seen one or two people come in and out of this door, but none of them are the guy that you're looking for. You can also see that there is there's a few windows on the bottom floor that are like locked right now. But there's a second floor window that's actually propped open, just as far as entrances, exits, anything like that. There's also like a back door as well. So those are both possible ins. Since you, the player, and I know where this is going. And Luton, what's really funny is that there's a, building across the way has like some hedges in the front of it. And you can see just the tiniest, like minute little bits of movement in there. Like, you don't know if it's, you do, you rolled a natural 20, but like it could be an animal or it could be a person hiding in those bushes. And I'll tell you, it's a person hiding in those bushes. And I think, actually, let me do a stealth. Let me do a quick stealth. What was your stealth? It was stupid, right? Yeah, it was.
You can't say that. Don't be
Poor.
mean.
Okay, yeah, you see her right away. You can see one of the witches of the Breck Brigade. And I think Winter catches on to this a moment later and just says something like, smells like witches. And she looks like she's also casing the building.
All right. Unexpected wrinkle. Nothing I can't handle. I think Luton is going to, for 5 seconds, stare directly at the bush, and he's trying to see if this witch, he's seen her around. I don't know if he's ever got her name, but like she definitely helped during the big
Absolutely.
the big fight by the river. So like he knows of her. He just they just never quite crossed. But I think he's gonna stare directly at the witch for 5 seconds to try and see what she does, because as much as he loves witch help, this witch is not quite hidden enough, and he sort of needs to know what factor this witch is going to be. Are they how serious about this are they? Because if they're just following him, then he needs them to leave right now, please.
Hey, Luton, can you do me a favor and make a dexterity saving throw?
Oh? Yes. Only Luton or Luton and Winter?
Just Luton, because we gotta move here.
Okay. Fair enough. How's the 17?
Alright, great. You're quick enough that you avoid the door as it slams open. As you were reminiscing about this. Not subtle, not quiet. This is Timmy Mintz coming out the door. He looks around. I don't know. I'm just going to say he doesn't see you. And he starts to walk away.
All right. I think I'm going to roll investigation. I want to see what kind of mood Mr. Mintz is in. Because, once again, Luton's trying to figure out how he wants to approach this. So he's gonna start by again, he's just trying to figure out which factors he's got to work with here. That's a dirty 25. So, tell me about Mr. Mince's mood.
In a pretty good mood, from what you can tell. He seems, he's not scowling. I mean, he's not like waving at the flowers as he walks by, but
All right, is he walking directly towards like a car, or is he uh,
yeah, he's going toward a car right now.
All right, I think what Lieutenant is going to do is he's going to rifle around in his bag, because once again, he does not have a hammer space, and he's going to pull out two things. He's going to pull out, like, a cap, which has that very old-fashioned, like, reporter tag on it with the little feather coming out. And he's gonna pull out a writing pad and he's gonna be like, Mr. Mince! Mr. Mince! And he is going to fully play up the completely naive reporter angle, which he can still achieve because he's he's fairly young. So he's gonna be like, Mr. Mince, I am so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I have been trying to get a report about how you have managed to do everything that you've done, staying very unspecific, very broad. And he's just like, I've been trying to work with your secretary. They are a wonderful person, believe me, but they said you were really busy, and I was just 5 minutes, Mr. Mintz, just 5 minutes. And I'm guessing you're gonna want me to roll persuasion?
Persuasion.
Alright, he's only got a +1 in that, so pray for me, folks. A 16! That's less bad than I was worried about.
I think he turns to you, and he's gonna say something like, alright. Oh, hey, kid. Yeah, listen. Yeah, I know, I'm pretty impressive, everything going on, but, how's about you and me, meet up at another time? I got places to be right now. And he kind of hands you, like, a card, like a business card.
Luton takes it and puts it back in his purse. He's like, just 5 minutes, sir. Just 5 minutes, please. I swear, I won't take much of your time. I have to know. We can set up an appointment later, but I just, and he's like, he's written a couple things.
I think he literally just goes, oh, that's cute, kid. And he, like, ruffles it goes like the ruffling your hair motion, but, like, on your hat. And then he's gonna get in the car and he's gonna leave.
Damn. Lieutenant is gonna very much play the, oh, I'm so sad. I'm like 5 years old and he couldn't get his report right up until the car turns. And then he's gonna pull the card back out and go, guess who got a cent, boy? Who's got a cent? And Winter's just gonna blankly look at him. Yeah, I know, okay, but I did get a cent for you. Which now means that they can find out other places he's been.
Before Winter can actually get a full cent on the card, you find that it is no longer in your hand, as it has been pinned to the opposite wall by a pen that was thrown.
What?
And let me see if she can get across the street. Yeah, that one she can.
Oh yeah, she can.
You look to where the pen probably came from, and then you look back at it, and next to it is the same witch you saw earlier. She's leaning against the wall, and she's picking up that pen and the card.
Hey, easy on that! We could lose the scent if you mess with it too much!
Sorry, I'm, like, trying to get into character.
You take all the time you need, buddy.
Um, yeah, I think she says something like, "Oh God, I'm blanking so hard."
Well, how about this? Winter is actually gonna, like, go, alright, somebody attacked Luton. This is not allowed. And I think Winter is gonna try and, like, run up and then trip Echo up with the remaining lead that he's got from the Slipknot leash. So
Sure.
I guess make a dexterity save yourself?
Want to do a contesting dex?
Yes, I do. That's exactly what I want to
Right,
do.
Winter's got a dex.
Oh, not a great one though. Yeah.
Only not
So
great, but
instead,
better than that.
so that's what Winter tries to do, but instead it just looks like he's barking up at this witch adoringly as he runs around their legs. He's trying really
Yeah.
hard to trip Echo up, but it's just not working for him.
Well, it's weird because it's like her leg was there, and then you don't know exactly where it went, and then it's somewhere else.
And eventually just
I
goes
think
at her
I
legs.
think
He's
after
so
she
annoyed.
I think after she because she was gonna she was reading the card, and I think after she's done with it, she just says she just shh, 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 shh. And I think she's gonna pocket the card, and she's gonna walk around to the back door.
Hey, wait a second. I will be clear. Luton has, after she said shh, tried to lower his voice. He's like, wait a second. What are you doing here?
Well, I was about to follow Mr. Timmy Mintz around town, but that's not going to happen anymore, is it?
Yeah, because you took the lead that I got.
Maybe you interrupted the lead that I had. So now we're going to do this the hard way. And she goes around to the back door, and I think she's just going to try and pick that lock. See how that goes. Very good. So yeah, you have this conversation as she's like fiddling with this log, and she gets it open like really quickly. I don't know how much lockpicking experience Luton has, but it's somewhat impressive.
Yeah. Lockpicking is not fast as much as people will lead you to believe.
And I think I think she just turns to him, like gives him a very like flat look. Haha, she's a UPA, and basically like steps inside and just kind of and looks at him and just says, "Well, are you coming?"
You could have said your plan before you unlocked the darn plate. Luton, yes, Luton is coming in, but he's like, you gotta use your words. How are we gonna break it in from? How are we gonna break the case from the inside of this place when we don't have Mr. And he sort of like shakes it off, and he's like, all right, what's the plan for if we're exposing it from in here, then?
Well, do you know what's in this place?
Can I roll investigation to see if I did enough research to know if I...
Yeah, investigation or if you want history, whichever you like.
The nice thing is they're both the same, actually. They're both just crazy high. So, a 15. He probably knows a little bit. 15's not as high as some of the rolls we've got, so I'd say don't give me too much, but he knows a little bit.
Luton, I don't think you knew this specifically, but like you can put together from like, you know, context clues and such, that because this guy spends a lot of time on this side of town, and this is the building that seems like he's, you know, been in, this is kind of a base of operations scenario. He's probably got like an office in here. Definitely a small desk setup, if nothing else. And by the way, Echo is like, seems like this is obvious to her or whatever. You can gather that in that moment.
All right, well, nobody likes a snob. Let's. And he sort of like rubs his hands a little bit nervously, and he's like, "So, what are you planning to do in here? Because I can take some camera pictures and try to report this, but what's your skin in the game? To turn a phrase."
Does 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 Luton know that Echo is a reporter?
So, given the fact that I said that, probably freaking not, which is really, really bad. And that's gonna come back to bite him in the fucking butt for the rest of this game, I suspect.
Maybe.
Hey kids, don't be like me and forget your co-commentators part of their whole integral part of their character in the middle of an FPS with them. I can't freaking believe.
No, this is fine. This is actually hilarious. Because I think Echo just looks a little sad.
No! I am the worst!
Like, you don't even have to roll anything. Like, she's just like, like maybe she's disappointed in you or in this situation. You're not really sure. She looks a little sad, but she doesn't say anything. She just kind of brushes you off and keeps moving. And I think, can you make a stealth check for me?
Of course.
Should I ask for you and Winter separately, or does that count as the same one?
Well, we'll see in just a second. I have to use my brain.
Stealth is dexterity.
I think what Luton is going to do is, I think it's by the fact that he's like, come on, we could have talked about this outside and then come inside. I think what he's going to do is he's going to use his iconic pass without a trace on all three of his all three of them. So Winter and Luton and also Echo are now covered by Pass Without a Trace, which gives a plus 10 bonus to dexterity, and also means that they can't be tracked by non-magical means. So, you know, cool.
Nice.
Do you want me to roll for both Luton and Winter?
Yeah, since you did that.
So
I'll do Echo rolls a 37.
So Luton rolls a 21. And Winter rolls a dirty 20. So they're all probably fine, I would guess.
Yeah.
If I had to guess.
Yeah, no, that's plenty. I think Echo at this point, because she doesn't know exactly where to go in here. She knows it's somewhere in here, or at least she thinks she knows it's somewhere in here. I think she's gonna pause at a corner and just say, like, if you had an office in here, where would you want it to be?
Can I roll history? Because Luton
Sure.
is absolutely the kind of nerd who actually studies buildings when he thinks that something is going on. So he like literally goes to the library and says, "Can I have
I
the
mean, you can,
blueprint of this building?"
yeah. I mean, we
Uh,
established you did a great job casing this place. If you want to even just say some information,
um,
like I said, this is a lot of this is open ended. If you Snail, if you want to like make something up on the spot, I can incorporate it.
all right.
This is very flexible.
So I'm gonna say that this kind of building was initially created as a warehouse, and then like the owner got the great idea as development continued like going on around them that they could make it into like office apartment buildings for the like upper levels, and
Mm-hmm.
then they sort of lost all of their money because that wasn't the best idea they ever had. And they had other harebrained schemes. So I think at the moment it's actually like sort of you know how sometimes buildings that are like old go into the tussle between does it belong to the state, can it be sold, who can it be sold to, it's sort of in that
Mm.
state. So
All right.
I think what that sort of means is like the upper levels are still sort of like haphazardly converted into some of those like shared office spaces, and then the bottom levels are still sort of like warehouse esque, which just have like little spindly staircases that go up. So I think he would say, if I'm being honest, I think I would keep a cookie making operation down below and keep the actual files up the stairs.
Seems sound. And she's gonna head up some stairs. We have a really good stealth going. I'm gonna let that roll over onto this for a moment. Let's see. All right. So you reach the top of the stairs. There's a hallway up here with a couple of doors on either side of it. There's not really any differentiation between the doors. None of them are like marked.
Yeah, that would make things too easy. I think what.
I think, yeah.
Okay, let me really quickly ask: does Echo have a plan? Because Luton might.
Her plan was to go by the doors and listen to them one by one, and then see if she could hear anything.
All right, why don't you roll
And
perception?
that was it. That was the plan.
Why don't you roll investigation for one of the doors, and then we'll have Luton do his bit.
Sure.
Because I do want to see if Echo can pick something up.
Well, she got a 20. She rolled an 11 and got a 20.
You have a crazy high stat bonus. Like
She's smart.
it's so. I think the real answer actually is just I do not know how to min max characters because I always get like middle decent
Echo is
stats.
min max the hell. I love her. She does two things, and it's dexterity and it's intelligence, and that's it.
Meanwhile, I'm like, I want to have an even spread. There's some things that they're good at, but there's an even spread. And then people come with their min-max characters, and I'm like, you can do that?
She's definitely got a lot of weaknesses as well, but this particular mission happens to be,
this is her wheelhouse.
This is her wheelhouse. Fine. Did I make a scenario where my character can be really cool? Absolutely.
It's what Echo deserves.
So yeah, I think she is going to listen at some doors. Let's say there's like 4 doors, and she's going to point to one and just shake her head. Like, not that one.
Luton's gonna shake his head to make clear he understands her response. Because if he nodded his head, that could seem like disagreement. So he's gonna shake his head as well, like, I understand, you're saying no.
I want to have just a really quick moment to describe the scene. where Echo now becomes very confused about why you're disagreeing with her not wanting to go in there.
No!
And they both end up shaking their heads in different directions and different at different times until they both end up agreeing. Like completely silent, like. And that's one of those fun word pictures for us to just think about for just a moment.
Eventually, Luton points at the door and shakes his head like, I understand, the door is bad.
Nailed it. Clearly we are communicating.
Clown to clown communication activate.
So they do that. Did Luton have any specific plan with this?
Yes, Luton sidles Echo back towards the staircase with a gesture and then whispers, if you give me the key card and you desperately need it back, I will give it back. But I can figure out exactly where Mr. Mintz has been if you let Winter sniff it. You know...
Oh, the business card.
Yes, my whole plan. That part of my plan, yeah. and
yeah.
I want to be clear, Luton does not realize how much of that guy he's being when he says that.
My plan, the superior plan.
His charisma is fine. He does not realize that sometimes he can get up his own ass.
It's all good. She just kind of like shrugs her shoulders, and I really like the mental image of her having like one of those little reporter tags on her hat, but she plucks it off and it's the card and she hands it to him.
Oh, that's clever. And he sort of like thinks about that. He still has a little notepad out, so he does like jot down that was clever. That was a good sleight of hand. And then he lets Winter sniff it, which means that Winter is now gonna make a double perception check for smell. Come on, Winter, please.
Yeah, 7.
17.
And a 17. 17
when I saw
good.
that 7, I was like, Winter, please, this is your whole shtick.
Yeah. And even though it is, the smell of sweets is kind of overpowering in here, but Winter's a professional. Winter knows what he's doing. And it does pick out one of the doors that, like, okay, this is definitely the door where most of that smell is from.
And then it, like, sniffs in disdain, like, I can't believe you made me smell that. That's gross. Come on. How dare you?
That's shady dude smell. Hate that.
You made me smell shady dude smell topped on top of way too much cookie smell? Come on. And because Luton can understand Winter, he's like, yes, we're all very proud of your valiant effort in order to save the public good. We all appreciate you, Winter. And Echo has no idea that Winter's like making any commentary, so it sounds like the dog just like wrinkles his nose, and then Luton's just talking to him.
She cannot speak to animals. She knows that there are Toons who can. She will make that quick and easy assumption.
Fair enough. He looks slightly less crazy than before.
Just in Echo's eyes.
At least that's fair. At least in Echo's eyes, he does look slightly less crazy. So Luton is then going to point at the door and go, nod.
And Echo also nods.
All right. They're on the same page. Let's go.
I think, honestly, I'll do one real quick, but just for the time that this takes. Me keeps forgetting what her stats are, even though they're good. All right, yeah, she does this again fairly quickly. You barely, like, see her hands as she does this. It's like, it's almost like for a second, like on the side of the door, that part of this technique is that she's like putting her hand like in the side of the door. Like, you know when you have a lock that you're trying to get open and you have to put like a credit card in there or something to jimmy it open? You ever had to do that?
My sister has to do that all the time at college. I promise she's not breaking in. There's a door that locks itself, and she literally has permission to do this. I suddenly realized that sounded so bad.
I mean, I'm the one who described it.
It's a door to an organ, as in the musical piece, and it locks, and she has to do it to get in. She literally has the teacher's permission.
Yeah. That's part of the way that Echo unlocks these things, is that she just puts her hand in because she's flat and jimmies it open that way. And she gets the door open, opens it, and then I think we can have one of those fun little Scooby-Doo head stacks where they all poke their heads in and look around this office.
Boink.
It's fairly well lit.
That was just the head noises. Boink, boink, boink.
Oh, absolutely. It's fairly well lit. It seems pretty innocuous. There's not much, not much to distinguish it from any other office that's out there. I think Echo is going to go right for the desk. And, do you want to make maybe a perception or investigation check for me?
Luton absolutely wants to make a perception check this time. Because I'm wondering, the door was locked. Why are the lights still on? Oh, and that's a nat 1! He doesn't actually question that because he knows nothing.
What happened when you looked in is you looked directly at like a lamp. And it like you did the thing where like you burn your retinas momentarily. You can't see anything.
Blink! Why are you here? Lamp.
Oh, he wouldn't be here. He wouldn't hang out with these people. In that case, I will have Echo make a check then, just for giggles, to see if. All right. So she goes through some of the drawers of the desk, like very, very quietly, and there's even a couple of locked ones that she like again very quickly like gets them open. I think she like hands you a file to look at as she's doing this. Like she's trying to look at half of them, and she's just handing some to you to look at.
Luton is very quietly trying to press. Echo, I can't see. Oh, that's another. Oh, Echo, I can't see. Oh, come on.
You end up with like a pile of them. You're just crushed underneath it. Again, this is for jokes. They're still very quiet.
I think Luton is actually gonna cheat and try to have Winter smell all the files again, just to see if they catch Timmy Mint's handprints.
Yeah, I would love for. Well, that one's an actual one, so do another one.
Luton is Dumbo, apparently.
All right. I mean, if you've got smell-o-vision, this is actually not that hard of a stretch to imagine. Because it smells like Timmy Mints all over this room. But sometimes, you know how, like, when you're in a place, there's, like, a concentration of, like, okay, this person obviously spends a lot of time at the desk, like places where their smell would linger.
Mm-hmm.
Winter actually gets something, like, across the room.
Unrelated
there
to the
is
files at all.
There is like a bookcase, like, but normally you wouldn't keep all your precious files in a bookcase. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what the file holder is for.
That's what the filing cabinet is for. You'd think it would be in there because that's where and in the desk. But he's also getting something over on that side. And Echo does not know this because she does not have the ability to speak to animals.
I think so. Can I say that the general perception is he does not realize that it's weird that the lights are still on and try to investigate that particular bookcase?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was perception. Do another investigation for me.
Thank you. I had a really good question, and then it was crushed by that freaking nat 1!
F. Well, the good news is that you take a look at this bookcase, and you can see that as Winter is like sniffing around and like, you know, being like, okay, well, there's something up here. You can see that there's actually like, you can see a spot where it doesn't like, okay, how do I describe this?
If you're gonna say secret passage, I'm gonna ruin the surprise, but secret passage?
No.
No.
There are hinges.
Huh?
There are hinges on one side of it.
And is Winter particularly sniffling at any of the books, or are they sniffing around the area so it seems like maybe do a little pull open action?
I don't think Winter is sniffing at any particular book. I mean, he rolled a 12, so he can't get too close, but, you know. There's hinges on one side of this thing.
Echo? There's hinges on the bookcase. You do know that that means, right? There's hinges on the bookcase. He like sort of waves her over, like, come on.
Yeah, no, she comes over. And she checks it out. I think I'm gonna have her make another like a lockpicking just for like understanding this mechanism. Again, it's not crazy, you know, but I like to make checks. Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah. So she can trace it to like it is a particular book on the side, a nice I don't know, nice big orange one.
What does the spine say?
Oh man.
What does the spine say? The Karen
keeping
man. Of your cookies? I
didn't have a joke lined up, and I really should have.
The Karen keeping of your cookies!
That's what it says.
You have to accept my dumb joke if you don't have one prepared.
No, you're right. No, you know what I want to say?
What?
The title is How to Make Dough. Take a breath. Get a sip of water.
That's very good. Mock, are you aware that's very, very, very good?
Take a breath.
Okay, I'm cool. I'm calm. I'm collected. That was a very good joke.
Take a sip of water.
I'll take a big sippy. Go ahead.
I mean, at this point, it's fairly straightforward to say, you know, they pull that book, they open the thing, and it's not a secret passage behind it, but there is a safe in the wall. And then I'm not even gonna do a check. They crack this bad boy open. and inside are how do I describe, what is that word? Hang on, it's in the notes.
Files.
There are files.
Yes.
Yeah. There are files. They've got Timmy Mintz's name on them. And specifically, they have a ledger of the all the illegal sugar cookies that they have been putting out into the market.
Evidence.
Right there.
Yes. I love
Some
good
evidence.
evidence-based mission. Luton is just having his own like private little thing, and Echo is probably wondering what the heck is going on with this guy. People who
No, I mean,
watch
she's pretty
Faces on
stoked.
Parade, you guys
It's
know why he is so excited about a mission that actually has evidence. Cough, cough.
well, Echo's a little bit more like what's the word? Enigmatic. She doesn't really show her emotions as much as Luton tends to. But if you knew how to read her, she's pretty stoked. I don't think Luton does, but
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't even think it's worth a roll because he doesn't realize who she is.
no, absolutely not.
So, I think what he's gonna do is he's gonna say, "All right, Echo, put that in your hammer space. I know it's a lot less easy to steal from the hammer space than it is from my bag over here. So, for the moment, the files are yours. I would appreciate it if we can reconvene and figure out what we do next after we get out of here. But for the moment, keep it in your hammer space, all right?"
Yep. She puts it in her hammer space. I think she looks at him. No, you know what? I'm gonna do this after they get out. I mean, we can just say that they do because this is an FPS.
Yeah, that's fair. We don't need to meet too much opposition for an FPS.
No, I mean, I had a couple of things if it happened, but you did do the pass without trace, and that pretty much covers us. But yeah, Echo puts it in her hammer space, and they close the safe back up. They put this bookcase back where it's supposed to be. I think Echo actually does a very thorough job of like putting everything back exactly where it was. Even the pile of papers that was crushing you.
Nice. I think Luton is gonna look at Echo with some approval, and this is where I'm gonna make a history check to try and make Luton pecking, learn, and remember who this character is. Thank you. Luton goes, "Oh!" and then like smacks his hand over his mouth. And they both like stare at the door. 5 seconds pass. 10 seconds pass. And he like whispers, I do know you. I'm so sorry. You're Echo. You're one of my you're a fellow reporter. Of course you would come in here. And he's like smacking his head like, I should have known. What is going on? Of course you. So yes, now Luton finally realizes that Echo is a reporter. They've met before. And he actually puts, like, the name of Echo LeBlanc to her writings to realize why Echo would come in here.
I mean, she's not like a huge star or anything as far as writing goes, but you know, she's a competent reporter.
Yeah, so the excuse I will use is before he'd seen Echo and he had read Echo's stuff and honestly been somewhat impressed by it, but he didn't connect the name to the face that he'd seen with the Brecht Brigade. That's my excuse for the terrible thing I said.
No, it's fine. It's funny.
I am dumbass.
I think I will. Okay, I think when you say that, she just nods and she like looks at you and like holds your gaze for a minute. And then
eyebrows are slowly gonna go up like, what?
And I think she just... I break this one first. And keeps putting her stuff away. She does mean break the story, by the way.
So, here's the thing. Luton would really like to argue. He really, really wants to argue. Just because they both came to this place doesn't mean that his plan wouldn't have solidly worked. But here's the thing. He did give her those dang papers mere moments before.
I mean, she wasn't going to argue with his logic, but she also was never going to give him those papers. He can look at them when she's done with them.
So I think what Luton is going to say is, show those papers to me before you show it to any other hack reporter, and it's a deal.
Done. And I think, you know what? She's going to do a handshake.
They shake on it!
Respect. We respect. And then I want to, like, cut, like, they get out, and, like, we cut to, oh my god, we have the newspaper spin. The newspaper spins up onto the screen, and it's just like, you know, oh god, what's a good, I gotta get a good headline, hang on.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
That's the way the cookie crumbles. Timmy Mintz found guilty of cookie crimes.
You know the way it's gotta be.
Like, this ain't your regular sugar daddy.
I hate you.
You love me.
I love you too, but I hate you.
Oh my god, don't die.
Okay, I'm good.
Because it's sugar cookies. That was...
Do you guys get it? Do you guys get the joke?
Hey, is it fun? Hey, it's a funny joke. And that's pretty much what I have, unless there's anything specific that you wanted to cover. Anything that Luton wanted to talk to Echo about or anything, but that's what I got.
I think ending on the fact that he finally recognizes Echo and also totally gets hoodwinked by her is pretty good. One thing I will say is the tabloids definitely start going, has Luton lost his touch? He gets this story second hand, which blows away in like a week. That's just how tabloids work. But there's definitely some people who are like, wow, Luton was after the story and then it was shown by this Echo LeBlanc? I can't believe this.
Shown up.
So one thing that might do is it might actually even more slightly increase Echo's popularity, because now there's this rivalry angle, even though Luton has no interest in being her rival. He's just like, oh, cool. I didn't like the way that this started out, but we're friends now, right? And I know that's not necessarily how Echo's gonna take it.
We close on that. Yep.
So,
right,
Echo is now more popular. Luton is like, we're friends. Echo's like, rivals.
A little bit. Listen, she has generally considered Luton to be a little, again, like friendly rivals. But, you know, you got any other investigative reporter out there trying to get that scoop before you. You know, what else are you going to be? You got to be rivals a little bit.
And then he forgot her name and what she does.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've done nothing to help the not rivals angle today, folks. They are rivals. Luton just doesn't know it.
A little bit. Just a little bit. they can have a little bit of rivalry.
As a treat for
Great.
Echo.
And with that, I think I'm going to stop the recording. Thanks everybody for joining, for listening, and bye bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.